Hey guys, today we are reviewing Era 3 Premium Tank Destroyer Wiesel 2. This is one of the very frustrating tank to deal with. Not because it's broken, but it is really annoying. It's very fast, it has insane camo, so basically the only way you spot this tank is if it fires or you proxy spot him. So no matter how much your view range is, you can never outspot this tank, and at least that's what my experience is. As you can see, the camo for this tank, it's the same as the proxy circle if you look at the map. Now, I'm not the Cold War expert, or neither am I playing missile tanks. I've been playing Cold War lately and I've gotten better with single shot tanks, but I'm not a missile expert, and you can see right here where I didn't pen the side of MBD-70. However, I've played a decent amount of games in this tank and gained some experience with shooting missiles and kind of figured out what's best for me. So I have these 2-3 plays where I kind of did okay. In terms of my setup, it's listed in description, but I removed any gun handling skills and created a crew specifically for Wiesel because it doesn't have a gun, and missile doesn't really need anything to improve gun handling, as you can control it after it fires. And for the consumable, in this game, I'm just running smoke instead of the food, and the other two being the repair kit and med kit. For equipment, I'm also using camo net to boost up that camo, loader, and traction system to increase my speed. Because when I've played Wiesel, it seems that people have gotten better at shooting these tanks, and I do take a lot of punishment. That's why for the next replay I decided to go with the fuel to make it even more faster, or quick to accelerate. But that's for the next video. So far I managed to pen 292 as well as a Wiesel, and did not pen MBD-70s. So I'm not really good at shooting missiles at a distance when tanks are moving, as I end up missing them. So the way I play it, either I shoot missiles from like a medium range, probably like 100 meters, or I just shotgun them. That's the only way I do end up penning missiles. I'm going to try penning this MBD-70 and only managed to do 200 damage and pen him. Poor aiming, didn't need to rush that shot there. So this tank is coming on sale though on Tuesday for 10,000. I think it's the first time it's been on sale after the initial release. So if you if you missed it the first time, you can get it for 30% discount. I'll be planning to buy it. It seems like a fun tank if there's like 1 or 2 in the map or in the game. But if there are 5 or 6, which was the case when it was first released, it's super frustrating to play, because the worst thing about playing Wiesel is you can't easily kill the enemy Wiesel, and you basically keep doing circles until one of you either accidentally ram something and lose speed or just give up. So, yeah, and I think that might happen with it being on sale again. It's one of the very popular tanks. I kind of do find it fun to play, but I think if you're in platoon, then it's absolutely a monster tank, because 3-man Wiesel platoon, it'll be toxic, but Era 3 is toxic anyway, so I would suggest to buy the tank. You do end up having fun, playing with friends, and it is enjoyable to play, as you can run around, not think about anything, and there are people. I guess it's the Cold War version of artillery, right? I think it's the second most. It has the second most highest alpha for the missile, and also a decent pen. So if you know how to avoid spaced armor or whatnot, then you can end up doing very decent. I mean, I kind of messed up with the missiles. Like, I didn't pen that shot on the last tank either. As I said, like, the way I play this tank is I either aim the missiles at about 100 meters, or I just shotgun them, as I suck at long range. And that's what I did. Merkava not paying attention, RBRT, bang. So it's pretty easy to play and difficult to deal with if you don't manually aim in Era 3. If you're like RBRT, you're not gonna hit this tank. But it has its moments. Like when I was playing by myself, most of my game was solo, right? I wasn't able to do a lot of damage. I had like okay games, and most of my game was like where I was the only Wiesel, so it wasn't game breaking when you're just playing one Wiesel. As when you get spotted, like when you're shooting, right, you have to really go to shooting missile in terms of, like I missed that shot. When you fire, you get in cover so that they can't shoot you back, especially because when you fire, you get spotted and end up taking damage. It doesn't have the best hit points, and looking at its base gold price, I think it's also a bottom tier tank. But nonetheless, it's fun to play. It's like a Vanguard with an artillery gun. You know, if you have to compare it to a World War II tank. So I'll T92 on a Vanguard hull. So definitely difficult to hit, but again, you know, it's very light. So if you hit, no matter what tree you hit, you will end up coming to a full stop and then get punished. So you have to be careful with that regard. But I had fun playing this tank, even when I was playing solo. And I do plan to play in platoon, and we'll see how that goes. But I think that would be very annoying to the enemy team when 3 Wiesels are charging at one isolated tank, and that tank will insta die. So this game we did 11.6k damage. Not the best for Era 3, it's like 5k if you're playing World War II. But as I said, I struggle to do more damage in a missile tank. I usually do worse. So since I was getting shot a lot, I decided to try increase my mobility, and as well as the reload. So I added food and fuel, so that if I feel that I'm in danger, I just activate my fuel, and it helps a little. I also thought maybe I won't need the medkit or repair kit, but I found it the hard way that I do end up either losing the loader or the ammo rack every game. So I decided to go back to my initial setup, because even though this kind of looked fun, it wasn't very practical, as my reload basically ended up being double to what it is. And once if I lose it in the beginning of the match, the game is essentially over for me. But on this game it kind of worked okay. But I would still say go with the standard setup. You could also remove the force equipment, enhance target info to add mobility, like advanced power terrain. I tried that, but I struggle to play without power terrain as well, enhanced target info, so I added that back on. But I've seen some people remove that equipment as it's missiles anyway. But I wasn't able to make it work. Okay, so with this map, got behind MBT-80, not paying attention, and that's what I do. You know, if no one's paying attention, I take my time to aim, so that I can full pen the tank. Most of the tanks you can definitely pen them from the back, and you can pen the rear sides of every tank. So we're almost loaded. Go for round 2, and bang. Yeah, I stopped. I shouldn't have. I thought I'm safe, but I think it was MBT-70 that hit me, or 292. So I was not happy about that. But you know, I decided to be careful after that encounter. I was lucky that I didn't lose my loader right there and then. But one thing to play against Wiesel is never be by yourself, because if you're kind of by yourself, the Wiesel will find you and he will kill you. So if you see a Wiesel in the enemy team, or actually to be honest, in general in core Era 3, you cannot be by yourself. But especially if there's like a Wiesel and you decide to go to the field, another shot. I think I ammo-ragged that guy, did I? Probably I did. So yeah, it's not really a skill, it's just I'm just memeing around, you know, doing circles. By the time I end up finishing my circle, I'm loaded. and then I just pen them again, RBRT, and end up penning the, I think it was BU. I don't think this tank needs any skill to play. It's also like one of those tanks where you just drive around and you'll do okay. Load it again and again. This you will see like every tank who's kind of by themselves end up getting derped. Yep, 1500. And for some reason, Wiesel doesn't take ram damage as much as it should. So I'm not even hesitant to, you know, ram the tanks if I think I might miss the shot, as long as like there's not enough tanks around that tank, because then the other tanks can shoot me. But it's kind of, it doesn't have the HP, but again, right, it doesn't take ram damage, so it kind of makes up for that. So 8700 damage, 1500 assist, just driving around, right? Like absolutely no skill or no awareness. I just see, because I'm never spotted, right? So I just ended up grabbing that guy again. Not the best driver, so you can see that. Like ideally you shouldn't. And yeah, I was doing okay up until this point. The score was even, and I was hoping I might get a good game. And you see, I got Emerald, and I couldn't repair it, and that was just the end of my game. So after this, I went back to adding the medkit and repair kit. Because if it was an Emerald, it was my loader that died. And this game had a decent amount of HP for it. It is a full health MPT 70 that I could have killed, but I couldn't. However, I do expect like AVR, you know, AVR is coming on Boxing Day. Even this tank, it will, I expect a lot of people to buy it, just because how annoying it is and how little you need to learn to play this tank. And especially if you're good in missiles. Like I am really bad in shooting missiles. I've said it before, but I can still be annoying, you know. This can still ruin other people's games that are trying to play. Like a lot of people are trying to play MBT-AT, and you just get behind them and can do a lot of damage, like 1300 to his 1500. And I've actually Emerald some tanks as well. It's always fun when you Emerald another tank. And you know, 2 tanks remaining, 11k damage, and I didn't aim properly and ended up missing that shot. I waited for 30 seconds to finally reload, and only to miss point blank. I didn't miss, I mean, I ended up hitting spaced armor. I thought I could hit anywhere, but I guess I hit a portion which was immune to ATGMs. Two more tanks left. The other one is Wiesel. I thought there's no way I would kill the heavy by the time he might already be dead by the time I reloaded, so I decided to go for Wiesel. If I had the ammo rack, if it was not damaged, I would have definitely done more damage. So 2 tanks remaining. That's about it. Okay, as I said, like I'm not the best Cold War or experienced player, but this was my take on what I feel about the tank and how I played. Hopefully you kind of liked it. But yeah, that's it for this video. I'll catch you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day.